Hello and welcome to another episode of the Complete Football Pod. My name is Mike. I'm recording this video after the Manchester City derby with Man United. A quick dive into the game. What an interesting game from both teams. I am personally surprised about the way Man United played in the first half. One of the best first half they've had in a long time. Man United, for the first time in my opinion, they came with a game plan because this is a team where you don't know how they play. You don't know if Man United is a counter-attacking team. You don't know if they are a high-pressing team. You don't know if they're a possession-based team. But for the game against Man City, I can decipher like they were set up in a way where they want to play counter-attack. They want to hit Man City on the counter, which probably worked for them for the first half of the game because they had a good first half. They were very compact in defending. They played together as a unit. What a goal from Marcus Rashford! It was a banger. This is a guy where you give him an inch of space, he's gonna punish you for it. He's so good shooting the ball at the back of the net with precision, with intent. So Rashford, kudos to him. One of the best goals of the season, in my opinion. So Man United played in a very compact way against Manchester City. For the first half of the game, for the first minute of the game, they were organized. They played compactly. They knew what to do. But and I think Ten Hag he played like a three central defender in Varane, in Lindelof, and in Johnny Evans, which made Diego Dalla be able to move forward like a right way back, and also Kobe Mano. I think he was the one that played like the left wing back or something. So I think it was like a 3-4-3 kind of formation, and I think Bruno Fernandes played as a false nine. He played as a false nine, and I mean, for the first time in a long time, Man United, they had a game plan, and it really worked for them, and they created a lot of chance. And before I go further, I have to give kudos to Onana. Andre Onana yesterday he showed class. He was good. He saved Man United a lot of goals. He saved a lot of goals for Man United. And the goal, because we all know he always wants to play with his foot. The pass from the back that he sent to Bruno Fernandes before Bruno Fernandes laid it over to Marcus Rashford. That pass was sublime, was sensational, and he saved a lot of goals yesterday. So Man United this season, I personally think Man United have been so dangerous in the counter-attack. When Man United is playing counter-attacking football, that is where they're most dangerous because they have fast wide players in Rashford, in Garnacho, in sometimes when they convert a play like Bruno Fernandes to the wing. Though he's not one of the fastest player, but they play counter-attacking football. I will say, in my opinion, personally, that Man United, with this team they have right now, the only time I see them being dangerous is when they hit the team on a counter-attack. But how we gonna say Man United is a counter-attacking team? I don't think so, because when Man United, with all due respect to the smaller teams, Man United in Old Trafford would not play a defensive counter-attacking football. Everybody will want Man United, the fans will want them to be on the front foot. But when Man United is playing, with all due respect to Fulham or Brighton, would they sit back at Old Trafford and absorb the pressure and hit them at the counter? Probably yes. If that's the best way, if that's the most dangerous way they can be, then I think they should just find a way around playing that counter-attacking football because they have good, fast players. And every time I've seen them this season playing a counter-attacking football, they've been so dangerous. So Man United playing with purpose, in the first half of the game. And also, for the first 45 minutes, they were very good. They were very good. They kept to their shape. They did everything right. They had one or two couple of more chances, but Man City, they could not score. The defense was compact, as I said earlier. They played like a compact kind of way, because Man City thrives with space. When Man City finds space, they punish you, because that's why they have this possession-based football. They pass the ball around. They pass the ball around, so that the moment you keep on moving around, they dictate the tempo of the game. You would lose your shape as a team, and that's when Man City pounds on you. They have enough and a lot of intelligent players to punish you in that type of play. And Onana played a fast one, trying to make the referee think he has a hamstring. He has an hamstring injury. I think it's part of the dark heart of football. He's just trying to waste time and snuff Man City off that tempo of the game. Kobe Mano played well also. What a young player, what a young prospect. This guy is good, and I think he's the future of Man United. Now, there is no much we can say about Man United except the sensational first half display. And I've said, even though they played well in the first half, Man City still controlled the game. We can tell with the possession. Man City has a lot of ball possession. Man City had all the ball, most of the balls, during that game. So Man City still controlled the game, but Man United just played, well in the first 45 minutes. Even though Man City could have scored one or two, but Onana was there to help out, and that was one of his best performance in the Man United jersey for me so far, since he got to Man United. So let's talk about Man City. What a team! There's Pep. There's this thing that happens when you watch Pep's team play. I've spoken to people that thinks Man City is kind of boring, and when I ask why do you think Man City is boring, they would say the game is always, when Man City is playing, it's always one-sided. They're always they're the only one using the ball. That's the way Pep's play. That's the way Pep plays his game. He controls the ball. When he has a possession, he taps the ball around, knocks the ball around, try to make you lose shape. And one thing I heard from Pep interview one time, he said, when the opponent does not have the ball, they can't hurt you, which is true. Alex Ferguson said the same thing when during the Champions League final between Barcelona and Man United, when Barcelona won 3-0, goals by David Villa, Pedro, and Messi. Because he said, if we didn't have the ball, we could not hurt them. So Man City, they try as much as possible not to let you have the ball. So once they have the ball, they dictate the play, they dictate the tempo of the game. So you can't. All you need to do, you're gonna start running around trying to see how you can get the ball. And once you get the ball from them, the ball recovery rate is so superb. So let's talk about Foden, Phil Foden. Oh my God, what a player! What a player! This guy is, I don't know, probably now, I would say, in my opinion, is the best Premier League player this season. Yeah, it's safe to say that, in my opinion, is the best Premier League player this season, because this guy is so good. Like, any position you put him, is very dangerous. You put him in the midfield as a number 10 position, he's dangerous. Put him in the left wing forward, he is dangerous. The right wing forward, this guy is dangerous. As a false nine, where he had played so many times under Pep, he's so dangerous. So this guy, anywhere he goes, any position he plays, he creates something out of it, and he's always dangerous to the opponent. So Foden, what a goal from him! His two goals, especially the first goal, was fantastic. And the second goal also, he got the ball with his movement, he passed the ball around, he creates space, it makes everybody around him better. That is Phil Foden for you. And I think right now. I know Arsenal fans might be angry about this, but if I am Southgate, if I'm not playing a number 10 in my position in my formation as the England English coach, I would play Phil Foden before I play Bukayo Saka. I know Bukayo Saka is a great talent also. He's very good, he's been exceptional for Arsenal this season. I think he's probably the highest goal scorer this season. But Phil Foden, in my opinion, would get the first nod, because this guy is so, I don't know, words cannot explain how good this guy is right now. So let's talk about Erling Haaland. I think Haaland played his worst, if okay, let me say his worst first half ever, or his worst game as a Man City player. There have been times where Haaland played last season, even when they won the treble. There were games where Haaland was not really into the game. But there are some games where we know where it's been statistically, he had maybe 11 touches all through the whole game. But I think this derby game with Man United, I would rate it up there as one of his worst game ever, because at first it was not really in the game. It was blanked out. It was blanked out, and even when he got the chances, look at that miss by Erling Haaland. I don't think he's gonna miss anything as close as that ever in his career, because that goal, I already thought it was a goal. And one thing I think Man United did wrong was giving Man City that opportunity to keep on passing the ball around. Man United should have actually kept intensifying effort, pressing Man City the way they did in the first half. But when you give Man City that chance to start, knocking the ball around, you're inviting trouble, because that is how they thrive as a team. They're very patient. They're very patient. They pass the ball around, they look for spaces, and when they find one, they have a lot of intelligent players that can hurt you with a pass. KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, very exceptional player. Don't give him any space. It will hurt you. Phil Foden, the same thing. Bernardo Silva, is also is a predator. Once he smells blood, once he smells that space, it would hurt you with it. So you don't give Man City that space. I think Man United should have gone, had an approach like the way Chelsea did, or the way Tottenham Hotspur did when they played Man City. You don't sit back. As much as they will still have most of the ball, but you still don't sit back and let them, do their thing, because that's, once you allow them to do that, Man City will be all over you. So I think at the point they relaxed. They I don't know how, I don't know what. So I think they got it wrong at the end of the day. They should have intensified that effort. They should have pressed Man City more, so as not to give them that enough chance to pass the ball around. Okay, so also Rodri. Let's talk about Rodri, who was another exceptional player in that game. For me, Rodri has been Man City backbone this season. He has been the backbone of Manchester City, because I think at the beginning of the season he was injured. He was injured for like 4-5. Well, I think he had like 5 yellow cards and missed the match, or he was injured. I know there was a time he did not really play this season, and Man City struggled. I know Pep is a very smart coach. I think Pep should find someone that could deputize for Rodri if he's not around. Calvin Phillips was supposed to be the guy, but unfortunately, Calvin Phillips was unlucky with Man City. He could not meet up to Pep's expectation as a player, and he's been phased out. But I think that's why Pep bought this Nunes guy from Wolves. Yeah, I think it's from Wolverhampton. Yeah, he bought that guy. But Rodri is just too. He's so dominant in that position. He's like the connection between the 4 defenders, the back 4, and the forward players. So he really connects well with the team. So Rodri was so exceptional. He should have scored in the first half when he smashed the ball and Onana just pushed it wild into the corner. And also, Kai Walker. Kai Walker was I don't know, this guy is a Rolls Royce of a defender. At 32 or 33, this guy still is, in my opinion, one of the, if not the fastest player in the Premier League. I think Chelsea Mikhaila Modric is the fastest Premier League player. But anyway, that's by the way. But Walker, what a what a leader, what a player. This guy he keeps waxing stronger every time he plays, and man, the sky blue blood flows in his body. Walker is a very integral part of Man City team and also the English national team. This guy is good. He's a leader. You can count on him all the time. He was like David Silva when David Silva was in Man City. And let me know your opinion in the comment section down below. Watch David Silva highlight with Man City. There's most of the game. David Silva, if you want to rate him, it would probably be the worst. Would probably be 7/10, which is good for a player. If you've been rated 7/10 every weekend when you play for your team, you are an exceptional player. That is the same way I see Kai Walker, because this Walker guy, he was so good, and he was so good with Tottenham, and he's still, at 32 or 33, this guy is still doing it. So I think Kai Walker going forward, I mean, he's any injury to him, though Man City has other backups, but they need him because of his pace. Look at the goal. The second goal Rashford could have scored. He ran after Rashford before Rashford first touch was the problem. If Rashford had got it right, it would probably foul Rashford. It would probably be a foul, and he's probably gonna get a red card because it was it distorted an attempt to goal. But the speed, the rate at which he caught up Rashford was sublime. And Rashford also, let's be sincere, Rashford also is not a slow player. Rashford is also a fast player. So for him to be able to catch up with Rashford that fast, that shows you how fast this guy is. Kudos to Kevin De Bruyne too. But actually, before Kevin De Bruyne, let's talk about Doku. Doku yesterday was one of his worst game ever. I think he was, I don't know, maybe the stage was too big for him. I wouldn't say that, but probably the tension or the pressure of that derby, because he's still new. Let's be honest, he's still new. It would take him time for him to acclimatize with pressures like that, especially the Manchester United, the Manchester derby. So he played, his touches was kind of rough. It wasn't as polished as it used to be. But this guy, let's acknowledge that this guy is a very dangerous guy, very direct. He's very direct. He has all this body movement where if you're not careful, he's gonna get you. And the moment is, if it's a second or 2 seconds ahead of you, he's gone. He blows off like a breeze. This guy is so fast, very fast a player, and I think that's just what distinct him against Jack Grealish. Grealish is a more stylish, slow player, try to pull fouls, but Doku is also a player that 1v1 is good. It's so fast, so direct, so precise. So you have to be on your toes. You can't be flat-footed when you're trying to mark a player like Doku. Yeah, now let's talk about Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne yesterday, when Doku came out, when Alvarez came in, I think Bernardo Silva went towards Doku's side. Bernardo Silva was playing at was playing Doku's position, but he wasn't really cutting it. But I don't know what happened. Maybe Pep makes some tactical change on the pitch. So Kevin De Bruyne went to that position, and it was so dangerous in that position. It brought a lot of crosses into the box. And one thing again I forgot to talk about Man United. Man United was so good with dealing with Man City crosses yesterday. For the most of the first half, every cross, every ball that comes into the box 18, it's been sent back outside. They dealt with it very well. I guess they had tall center backs, Varane, Evans, and Lindelof. These guys are like 6 feet, 6'2", 6'3", and they really dealt with it very well. So back to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne, when he went to Doku's position, he was really, really, really dangerous. And there was a play where he had the ball. I think it was a counter. Man United moved forward, and Man City intercepted the ball and gave it to De Bruyne. And one thing you don't want to let Kevin De Bruyne do, you don't want to give him space to run and give him that space or a yard to shoot that ball, because he's so good. He called the ball, but it was over the bar. But that is what Kevin De Bruyne can do. He's a very, very, very good player. You can't give him the space. It's good with crosses, all those killer passes. You can ask Kevin De Bruyne for it. Kevin De Bruyne has all that in stock. So Stones, there's something I don't know. I'm not in the Pep. I'm not as good as Pep tactically, but I noticed Stones was kind of too slow yesterday. But I personally thought because Man United was not really pressing him, putting more pressure on him. Anytime he has a ball, it takes him 10, 15 seconds before he releases the pass. And I think there was a time at the point, I think it was killing the Man City flow of play when they want to move the ball quickly. When it gets to him, it stalls the ball. It breaks the tempo of the game, and it could be what Pep wants him to do. But I felt anytime they passed the ball to me, I was like, oh my god, this guy's gonna slow down the pace again. Because before Man City got the first goal, they were really passing the ball fast, moving the ball so quick, so Man United can lose their shape. And to be sincere, at the point I was thinking this could be one of those times where Man City would probably not get a goal back. It would probably be a 1-0. But at the same time, you'd be like, giving Man City the opportunity, passing the ball around for this long time, they would probably get something. But what gave me that mentality yesterday, this might be one of those days where Man City might not get a goal because of Haaland. Haaland was missing clear chances, and that was when I started thinking, could it be one of those days where a team like Man City would not get a goal back? And I think Man United, a record was broken yesterday. This is the first time in probably 6 or 9 years where Man United will be leading in the first half and they're gonna lose that game. Wow! When I heard about that record, I was surprised. Like, I thought Man United was really doing bad than that. So I thought that had happened so many times, but to my greatest surprise, I think that was the first time in 6 or 9 years, I stand corrected, whereby Man United will lead at halftime and they're gonna eventually lose the game. I felt it was an impressive record. So now, if Man United score first, there's every possibility they might be winning the game, or at worst draw. But Man City broke the chain yesterday, and the game was okay. And Man City had a lot of possession. They dominated the game, but I'm happy for them. I still think, in my opinion, and let me know your opinion in the comment section down below. I still think Man City will still win this league. I have that feeling. I have that vibe. Man City will win this league. I would have said Liverpool, but I've seen the way Liverpool play. To me, it's not been really, really, really convincing. Especially when Liverpool's the way they score their goals, when they struggle to score their goals. You can argue a good team, they need a little bit of luck. This is how winners. We've seen it in time past where a team that will win the league, There are times where they have to grind out the result. I understand that perfectly. But I just have this vibe. And the way Liverpool is playing, that they're not really that convincing. If Man City, I would say, and this is a really, really a very expensive a very expensive prediction. I would say if Man City doesn't win the league, probably maybe Arsenal will. Maybe Arsenal will. But I just don't see Liverpool. They might, don't get me, they might end up winning the league. I will be so happy for them, especially when Jurgen Klopp is leaving at the end of the season. But I'm still not convinced. I know Man City has this. I think they've done it like 2 or 3 seasons. When they start winning those games, they win a long stretch of games, like 16 games unbeaten, 13 games unbeaten. And if Man City get to that point where they're gonna win a game, they're gonna start winning that games like that, games upon games upon games. I think they would probably win the league. Next week they will be playing Liverpool. That's gonna be a decisive game in the title race this season. It's going to be very, very decisive. If Liverpool can win that game, then I might change my opinion about Liverpool. But if Man City win, that would actually cement my already, the opinion I already had in my head. But I'm going in for Man City. I'm not a Man City fan, but I just like the way they play. Like I said earlier in this podcast, I spoke to a friend that he doesn't like watching Man City game because he thinks the game is boring. Because Man City has all the balls. He likes to watch Liverpool because with Liverpool, it's different. They have this the way they play. It's kind of the character of those players, the pressure, the high intensity game Liverpool plays suits him. I don't mind watching Liverpool also, but I like Man City also, the way they play and the way they pass the ball around, that patient, how they build up their play. And it's good. I've always been a Pep fan since his Barcelona time. Even after that, I went to Bayern Munich. I've always been a Pep fan. Tactically, I think for me is the best coach in the world. Let me know who your best coach in the world is in the comment section. But for me, 100% Pep Guardiola. One of the easiest questions if you ask me, who's the best coach in the world? For me, it's Pep. It's Pep Guardiola. It's Pep, 100%. Jurgen Klopp, a great character too, a great personality. This guy with high energy and all that. So that brings me to the end of the podcast today. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And see you again next week. Bye for now.